The Pet Yeti distortion pedal features an all-analog circuit with extreme flexibility that allows you to dial in overdrive, distortion, fuzz, and super unique glitchy tones. In today's video, I'm going to show you a starting point for overdrive, distortion, and fuzz. And we'll get into a little bit of the glitchy madness as well. While we do that, I'll talk you in depth through the circuit on this pedal so that you'll have all the knowledge you need to dial in any tone. For reference, here's my clean tone. For anyone who's not familiar with the circuit topology of distortion pedals in general, you'll have an op amp or an operational amplifier to make your signal louder, and then you'll have clipping diodes that clip and add color to your tone. Fuzz pedals work a little differently. They use transistors to clip your tone. The Pet Yeti starts with op amp distortion, and then by switching the voice toggle either to the right or to the left, you can add in two different types of clipping diodes. Flipping to the left adds in asymmetrical hard clipping from silicone diodes, and flipping to the right adds in symmetrical hard clipping of germanium diodes. As we go throughout the video, I'll show you different use cases for the different diodes, but just to start with, for a basic overdrive tone, I'm gonna have the voice setting in the middle, which means there are no clipping diodes. I also have the strength toggle in the center. This dictates how much signal goes into the op amp. There's a low, high, and a max setting, so we're gonna start on the low setting. Right now, all my tone shaping is flat, so the tone knob and the shape knob are pointing straight up, the clean mix is all the way down, the bit crusher is off, and the level and gain are set to taste. So here's my basic overdrive tone. And if we turn the gain down, you can see that it can be very subtle. As you can see, my level is way down, so I can even use this pedal as a clean boost. Let's turn the gain down, turn the level up. Oh, it's so much louder. Just frame of reference. Wow, so, you know, infinite uses on this pedal. And from this setting, let's turn the gain all the way up just to see how far it can go. And that's just op amp distortion at the lowest strength setting. That's a basic starting place for a transparent overdrive. Let's check out a distortion tone. So for me on the Pet Yeti, I like to engage the silicone diodes, the asymmetrical hard clipping when I'm going after a distortion tone. I also like to flip to the high setting instead of the low strength setting. And then I'm gonna turn down the shape knob. The shape knob dictates how much low end you feed into your distortion. So turning it down will roll off some low end pre-distortion, which most distortion pedals do to not muddy up the distortion. When you engage the silicone diodes, you're gonna need a little bit more level. Adding those diodes to the circuit turns down the overall perceptive volume. And let's start with the gain about 3/4 of the way up. So here's a basic distortion tone. With a little more gain. You also have the tone knob if you want to shape your tone post-distortion. Let's turn up the high end a little bit. Or you can roll the tone all the way down. So in each of these basic tones, there's a ton of wiggle room. Now let's push it into fuzz territory. So I'm gonna flip my strength toggle to max, turn down my level, flip to the germanium diodes, and here's the secret for the fuzz tone. You wanna feed more low end into the distortion. So turn up the shape knob, and we want lots of gain. Even though this is technically a distortion circuit, that sounds pretty damn fuzzy to me. So those are just starting points for those 3 tones, but you can do anything you want. You can have an overdrive sound with the clipping diodes. You can shape the tone pre and post distortion however you want. We also have a parallel clean path that we haven't even touched in this video. And of course the analog bit crusher. So let's turn that bit crusher on, and then I find that you don't want to have the max strength setting with the bit crusher to get the glitchiest tones. The bit crusher transforms your tone into a pure square wave. So if you don't max out the gain, you will notice a gating effect, which can actually be really great for a glitchy tone. So here's the gain dialed in right to that point where I start to gate into silence. Let's try some more gain. And here's with the asymmetrical hard clipping. The bit crusher is really effective on other instruments as well, like a synthesizer or a drum machine. You can get some really cool chip tune sounds. On the lowest strength setting, that gating effect is even more pronounced. Let's add some more gain to that. I love that. It's so cool. It's so unique. As you flip through the different strength settings, you'll gate less and less of the signal. And of course, with every setting, you can try flipping through different voice settings just to see what you get. Another really interesting weird effect you can get is a sagging effect. Turn the bit crusher off, turn the strength to max, turn the shape knob all the way down and the gain all the way up, and the voice setting in the middle. Where the harder I play, the more the tone dips out. It's almost like it's eating itself alive. You can combine that with the parallel clean path. Let's try that same setting with the germanium diodes back in and the bit crusher flipped on. That sounds terrible. That's awful. And that's part of the beauty of the Pet Yeti, is that you can go outside of the constraints of what pedals normally allow. You can make it ugly. Your sound sculpting tools are extreme. You're not held into any boxes. You're not held into what sounds good. And because of that, your options are unlimited. So it's up to you to make sonic choices, to dial in your own tone. We trust you to do whatever you want with this pedal. We're leaving it in your hands to decide what sounds good to you. If you have any questions about how to use your Pet Yeti, that's what I'm here for. Leave us a comment on this video. The Pet Yeti is available on our website, cosmodio or reverb.com.